Are there funds available this year?
Well,
Have you seen the Grover Cleveland?
let me, are there funds available this year? I'm going to answer that head on. Last night, I'm not mentioning any names, we were out and a man said, I think you're a fool for leaving Washington. Francis and I were out for dinner. And he said, I didn't do anything for you the last time, but this time I'm going, as soon as if you decide to announce, I haven't announced yet. I'll write a check and I'll make $10,000 available for you. Well, 2 years ago, I got a $250 check, and I thought we were really setting the world on fire. So it's a different ballgame. People are. Let me tell you this. I get letters, I get telegrams today. One is very simple, just said run, but I've got a lot of great support from the grassroots areas. And do I sound like a candidate or not?
I admired the man. I loved him. To me, he was more than just a friend, but he was my leader, of whom I had the pleasure of being willing to follow. I like the fact that his life ended with a mountaintop experience. I believe that God had it fixed that way. Because the mountaintop experience, as I see it, is one wherein one is upon a mountaintop, high and lifted up, wherein he is able to see very clearly those things which are present below him. Martin Luther King saw.
Senator Yarborough, do you question overall the Nixon administration's priorities?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, sure.
Which ones and why?
Well, I question the fact that they denigrate education and health to some of the lowest priorities they have. They put in $750 million on ABM, and I've been listening for weeks there to experts from MIT who've worked for the Defense Department. Expert scientists say this wasn't needed, and it hadn't been proven that it worked, and they put that as a priority. They put priority of supersonic transport of some $500 million. Well, the Boeing's got a big transport that'll go 600 miles an hour and carry 350 people. I think that to educate the youth and take care of the health of the people is the first priority.
You're going to get them to keep separate bills, and I'm going to make you figure out some way how to pay your bills there. Yeah, you're spending too much money on room service, and you do.
I call on your phone.
Well,
Yeah, you're allowed. Yeah, you're allowed.
Are you looking forward to moving back up in the Capitoline? Where you going to have your own bedroom?
Yes.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Rather than here. You can stay here a while longer.
Room service most?
Well, she probably does. Obviously he does. It's the best thing in it.
I think.
Our nation has more than half of its population is women. We have many qualified women in the county to choose from, and our particular candidate is very well qualified.
How did your group that you represented this morning get together? Was this an organized group, or did you just kind of coalesce?
Well, I would say that it was not an organized group. There were many organizations represented. These are many different organizations of women who are interested in their community and who are interested in women being given the opportunity to serve their community in such ways as this board appointment.
Now that you've spoke your piece, are you just going to let it at that, or are you going to keep on this cause and others?
Well, we are going to keep on this cause and others, and we plan to come back if nothing is done within a reasonable period of time. As I understand, the court didn't want to do more than take it under advisement today because they did not have a full court. We will keep a watch on the attendance at the court, and when they have had a full court, and if they still have not taken any action, we'll be back to talk to them about it.
Do you anticipate forming any kind of formal women's group geared specifically to this cause?
No, I don't think that's been thought of. That might be a good idea.
Verne, I don't really have a preference. Naturally, we would like to stay in the bigger stadiums and in the warm weather climates mostly. We hate to lose a team like New Orleans, for example, because I think we are starting to develop a pretty good rivalry with New Orleans, and we would hate to lose them. I would expect that we would go into the western region with Los Angeles and San Francisco, because it's just natural that either St. Louis, ourselves, or maybe they'll break up the ice belt, and tie it on out to the west coast. But I just feel like we'll end up out there, though.
I would assume that ice belt is the one which you would prefer to avoid, if at all possible, simply because of the weather conditions in the small stadiums.
Well, I think it's, economically and everything, that it's not the best spot to be. I'm sure that they would like to break up that situation up there, because it looks like now that Detroit and Minnesota will replace Baltimore and L.A. as a real strong division if those two teams happen to be in it, because they were the best this year, I thought, at the end. But you have to think about Green Bay and Detroit rivalries between the Bears and all, and you just hardly can break those teams up either.